Gotta switch over to the thing. Well, good morning to everyone. Hope everybody's doing well this fine day. Whew. I'm tired. I stayed up late last night. First off, I watched WrestleMania. Then I watched some of the hockey playoffs while I was doing that as well, which was unusual for me. Let me make sure this is on. I believe it's on. Okay, it may be on. Who knows? And then I watched part of the Ten Commandments, and I don't think I went to bed till about 2:30. Go figure, right? If you can hear and see me, just let me know. What a way to start the day, okay? You know, almost 8 o'clock in the morning, and you start off with a Foxen Park. I only have one of these, so I'm going to have it for today. Foxen Park White Birch. My favorite of all time. When I was a kid, I lived in Foxen. And White Birch beer, we used to go down to Foxen Park and get a case of soda, and it was like the greatest thing that ever happened. Shannon, happy Easter to you, my friend. And to everybody that celebrates Easter, happy Easter. And to those that don't, just bear with us a little bit. It is what it is. Took the dogs for a walk. Had to walk all the way down and get the paper for my mother-in-law. So, a couple things today. It is Easter, but I do have a couple funny Easter stories. And I've been going through a game. I've been going through a couple games that you'll see. I don't think you'll see them this week. Maybe some of it at the end of the next week. I've been pretty busy with the taping. It's been kind of crazy. I've been taping a lot of stuff, but I've been going through this monster, the path we dare to tread. Now, I'm a big fan of Zaya, and always have been, and it sits in my top games of all time. It's usually always in the top 10. I was expecting Zaya, and I got something else. So we'll talk about that. And this is actually really good. Aces and Armor. We're shooting that this week. We're shooting Ardia this week. I'm not going to show gameplay. I'm doing so many. Right now, I am taping so much stuff, especially with Glowing Turtles game. The Adventurers. I think I'm up to part 3 already. You know, I'm trying to keep them nice and short, and so forth and so on. And I'm going to mix them up a bit. You know, like you'll see part 1 of something, then maybe, you know, a few days later you see part 1 of something else, then part 2 of that other one, then part 2 of the other one. So I'm trying to keep it fresh so you're not seeing a whole bunch of stuff. And then I got this in from Corvus Bellis, who they used to supply stuff for the channel, but they don't anymore. And I did a whole bunch of stuff too for them, but you know, it is what it is. But this is their fantasy version, and it's pretty interesting. So 3 videos that you got coming up, along with Elder Ring, PAX Hispanic, plenty of stuff, and then a whole bunch of older stuff and things like that. May 1st. I think it's May 1st or May 3rd. I'm starting playthroughs. They're going to be taped. I'm changing up the channel a bit. I'm going back to my roots. And we're going to do more playthroughs. And like I said in the video on Friday, it's mostly because with everything weird going on, it's time to start looking at older stuff. And, you can get some of that older stuff, and you can get it cheap. If you're going to wait for the new stuff, well, I'm telling you right now, companies are going to do two things. They have it sitting in their warehouse, and they're going to jack up the price and blame it on tariffs. Okay? That's just business. That's the way that they can get income and say, well, maybe we can get some of the stuff. See, the problem with board gaming companies, and it's something that people don't look at. They want to talk about these tariffs, but they don't want to talk about what the real problem with the companies are. Is they live hand to mouth. Okay? They have a game over in China right now, and it's sitting in a warehouse. They can't get it out. Okay? Or they took all that Kickstarter money and they spent it. Okay? And they left a little to ship the stuff back over. Everything's accounted for. Okay? And that's the problem with Kickstarter, because you don't equate for something that may go wrong. So now that stuff sits in, on a ship, or it sits in a warehouse, and they can't afford to bring it over. So who's going to end up paying for that? You are. Okay? Either they're going to, go under and blame it on the tariffs when they don't have the business model that they can have surplus or plan ahead. It's like in real life. You try to put money in savings for an unexpected event. Okay? Businesses can't do that sometimes, and that's why we're kind of heading into this weird thing. I know I keep talking about it, but I'm trying to explain why I'm taking a certain direction with the channel, and it's more or less to help you guys, because you guys are the one that catch it on the jaw. Yeah, businesses go under, but you want to know something? They can get other jobs and stuff like that. Okay, it seems, how would companies have planned ahead for those tariffs? It's not what I'm saying. You're not even listening. Okay, anything when it comes to well, first of all, you knew it was coming down the pike. Okay, if a certain person was going to get elected, that's number one. Number two, okay, when you run a Kickstarter, do you figure for any additional cost that may come into play? A lot of times these companies don't. Some companies have surplus, okay, and can do that. So what are they going to do? A lot of these companies are going to do a lot of different things. What they're going to do is they're going to say, well, we're going to jack the prices of the stuff that we have in our warehouses that's already here, instead of trying to maybe put a sale to raise the funds, or maybe just wait it out. That's their choices at this point. Okay? Nobody can plan for a tariff. Okay? Let me just read what I'm going here. Okay, nobody can plan for it. I'm just using that as a situation. There's a lot of things that happen in Kickstarters that companies go under. They didn't plan for it taking longer for the art to come in, or they didn't plan for so long to develop the rules. They didn't plan for this, that, and the other, and they live hand to mouth. That's why I never back Kickstarters. Sure, a lot of them come through. They do. They come through all the time. Okay? Does the game become a success? It depends. But you're paying for the unknown. You're paying, again, some people use it as a reserve, a pre-order. That's okay. Okay. As long as you know what you're getting, you get what you get in the end. But a lot of companies have gone under, and it's unfortunate. Okay? But my thought is to start looking at some of these older games that we can get. Some of these games that have been out for a while, that you can get a lot cheaper, whether you get them through Miniature Market or any place that you particularly shop. Maybe you go into your your local game store, and oh, hey, you know something? I can't afford to buy this game that's $250, okay, and normally would be $100, okay, but I can get this one for $75 and get the same type of enjoyment. That's what I'm trying to plan and do with the channel, and that's why I'm explaining these things the way they are. Okay, there are a lot of things that are going on that you just have to sit and see what happens. Plain and simple. But no companies can play. I mean, but where would you get that from? Never even said that. Ugh. Okay, so we tomorrow at 10 a.m. our auction ends. Okay, so we're gonna run through, and I'm gonna let you guys know what is still available. Okay, and let you know the price of everything, so you know everything going into. Remember, 10 a.m. And then tomorrow at some point. Hold on, what's this? I agree in general that companies leave too little wiggle room for unknown, but it is the situation that some small indie companies could not have planned for. If you're a small indie company, okay, there are a lot of small little indie companies that do things right, that have good businessmen behind it, okay, or people that have an idea, okay. And then there are poor indie companies. You hear more about the squeaky wheel, okay? Small indie companies that don't plan well. They're designers. They have, people that design things or artists and things like that have a different way of looking at things. They maybe don't have the business wherewithal to do things, and that's where you kind of run into some of the problems that you see. For the most part, some small companies try to do their best, and they plan very well with their business side, and they also plan very well on so forth and so on. I mean, why is Kickstarter and GameFound so controversial? Okay, because you always hear the bad stuff. Okay, so you have to talk about the bad stuff, unfortunately. We never praise, and this is true too, we never praise the small indie company that just gets it right. Okay? Okay, maybe they're a little late or whatever. They can't help that, okay? But they say they're going to deliver something. They say it's going to be a certain way. And it turns out to be something really, really good. That's happened a lot of times, but we don't talk about that very often, do we? It's always the guy that gets himself into trouble that, raises $1.5 million, and where did it all go? Oh, well, we can't put out the game. We didn't raise enough money. Or, hey, if you want this game, you're going to have to pay an additional $100. How many times do we hear that? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. But, in fairness, we don't talk about that company that just gets it right. Hey, I'm going to bring this out on May 2026. And it's June 26, and all of a sudden everything starts coming to everybody. Everybody gets it. Game's well received. Reviewers like it. Reviewers like pretty much everything, unless they got a beef with somebody. They want to stay in good graces. They don't know if this guy's going to be the next, Eric Lang or whatever. And it gets forgotten about because we move on to the next project or the next thing to fund or whatever. But we forget about that. We forget about the really good successes. So, it's kind of, there's 15 different ways to argue this situation, but it isn't worth arguing, to be honest with you. My plan is to just, okay, everybody's going to go through a tough time possibly. Okay, we'll see. We don't know. It's unknown. My plan is to kind of go back to the old days a little bit and start talking more about things that we can have a lot of fun with, because we don't know how this thing, not just in board game, but in every facet of our lives, how things are, with everything going on in the world, how everything is going to play out. So, for the most part, you want to get away from the world, okay? And to get away from the world, you want to kind of fall back on your hobbies, or, certain TV shows that you enjoy and stuff like that. Remember, this isn't just about board gaming. This, when there's a writer's strike, okay? People get off work. They want to sit with their wives or girlfriends or their kids and watch a TV show. And that TV show gets put off a couple of years because a bunch of writers go on strike. Who pays the price? Okay? They end up getting paid, and they make a ton of money and so forth and so on, and they're able, or an actor strike or whatever, something like that. And I'm using this as an example. Well, who pays the price? We do. Okay? So what should you do? Well, maybe start looking back in time at some of the old time movies. I watched a movie last week, and I just had a hoot watching it. It was a very old movie with Cary Grant. It was from 1940. His Gal Friday. And it was done by Howard Hawks. Howard Hawks, who did The Thing with James Arness. And, for an hour and a half, I'm watching this, and it was witty, and it was fun, and it held up real well. And I went, something, this is a great movie. I really enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun. And I watched it on YouTube. Okay? It wasn't some new, overproduced, rehashed, whatever. Okay? Which is fine if you like that thing. Okay? I'm not telling you what to like and what not to like. But I was able to go back and enjoy something. It's the same kind of theory that I have here in the board gaming world. Something, there's a lot of stuff that's older that is easy to access, print and play, or sitting on a shelf at your friendly game store, that we can really enjoy, okay, and not play and pay an exuberant amount of money. Okay? True, I've been enjoying more games, comics, movies, and shows I already have. Exactly. That's my point. That's my whole point. The uncertainty of everything, okay? And some of the things, there are a lot of good people that are suffering right now because of this. Good people. And I'm not saying, when I say they don't plan, I'm talking about the guy, the shifty guy a little bit more, who's going to try to figure to use this to make money, or use it to blame something because of his so-called political beliefs, because we don't know the outcome yet, okay? And it's scary. It might be something great. It might be something really horrible that we're stuck with. We don't know, okay? And to sit here and complain and kvetch and things like that, sometimes you got to sit back and let it play out. You do it in other things in life, okay? We do it in other things in life. We sit back and we're smart. We just don't take our money and throw it. Oh, wow. Let's just go invest in this stock and throw our money someplace. We take our time, and we're always smart about things. I think this is another thing that we just have to take our time, sit back, hold on to our dollars a little bit, okay? Be a little conservative and see where everything plays out, okay? And just be safe. The most important thing is take care of yourselves. Because the average guy is the one that pays. It doesn't matter what side you're on, okay? When they do something on the left, well, we pay for it. When they do something stupid on the right, we pay for it, okay? It doesn't discriminate, okay? Politicians do not discriminate. They don't care about the everyday man, okay? And if you think they do, please don't, okay? the everyday average Joe or Jane, okay? Nobody cares about them, okay? They're the ones that have to take the brunt. They're the ones that suffer. But boy, when it comes around time to vote for them, oh, hey, it wasn't my fault. It was that guy's fault. Let's take care of ourselves. That's the guy I'm worried about. Okay? That's the girl I'm worried about. Okay? Those are the people I'm trying to reach. Okay? And say, hey, you want to know something? This old fart has seen a few things in his day. So, let me see if I can help you a little bit. I mean, there are plenty of old games. My God. Old games that I'm playing. Okay? When I get off here, okay, I'll deal with my grandkids a little bit. Take a nice shower. Because I was working out and stuff like that. And then, I'm going to sit in my big easy chair and I've got a plan. I'm gonna play something from 1980 something, and I'm gonna have a great time. And it's 50 years later. We do all our shooting during the week, so don't worry about that. I got plenty of games to shoot here, but I'll do that during the week. Keep myself busy. All right, let's get back to this auction. It ends tomorrow. NovaPrime860@hotmail.com. Okay, and what you want to do is send me an email. If you hear something that you want to bid on, send me an email, and make sure that your address is in there, because it's going to make it a lot easier for me when I contact you tomorrow early afternoon and let you know what you have to pay for through PayPal. I'll send you where you can send the money, and then I will get these things out of here tomorrow as well. So if you pay tomorrow, it goes out tomorrow. Worst case, I get it out on Tuesday morning. Usually you'll have it by the end of the week. We use Pirate Chip. It does a fantastic job. We take care of everything. So, let's go through the lots. Lot number 1, the Undaunted. The box with a ton of Undaunted and Combat Commander. My boy Matt has that at $150. Good deal. Real good deal. Lot 2, the WizKids Terrain for all the dungeons. A big, huge, heavy box of that glorious stuff. Shannon, sitting strong at $250. Lot number 3, the whole Command and Colors Napoleonics and Medieval Command and Colors. Tim has that at $140. Congratulations, Tim. Lot number 4, Descent number 1, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Ryan has that at $250. Thank you, Ryan. Lot number 5, Aeronautica, pre-painted. I painted a whole set. And a whole bunch of expansions and books. And the Dystopian Wars. A whole bunch of different sets with that. Phoenix has that at $200. Wait, hold on. No, I got that wrong. Hold on. I'm going to correct myself. Descent 1 and 2 is Shannon at $200. Sorry. Descent 1 and 2, Shannon, you have that at $200. Lot number 5 is Ryan. Okay, let me just put that over here so I know. I got a little, because I write all over this pad. The Aeronautica, the Games Workshop Aeronautica, and Dystopian Wars. And also I included some maps I made for Death Over the Sulphur River. Yeah, you're going to want to check that out. I blew them up and I laminated them so you can actually use the figures to play it, which is an old game. $250 for Ryan. Madara, which is lot number 6. Okay, all painted. This is a steal right now. Johnny Clee has it at $200. Lot number 7 wants to remain nameless, has it at $350. Lot number 8 we have no bids on. That is all of Legend of Andor, Wildlands, and Judge Dredd. I believe most of it is painted for Wildlands and Judge Dredd, and I threw in an expansion or two in there. So quite a bit of stuff. No bids on lot number 8. Lot number 9, Massive Darkness and the brand new Metal Gear Solid. Casey has that at 180. Lot number 10, which is a mystery lot, and I'm looking right at what I got to throw in the box tomorrow. Ugh, I gotta go get that, and it's heavy. Phoenix has that at 280, so my boy Phoenix just coming strong like he always does. I gotta make sure I mark this off. Okay, so that's Ryan there. Shannon. Okay. Tim. I want to make sure I got all these right. Shannon had 250 for that. And Matt. Okay. Lot number 11. Gentleman wants to be unnamed. It is a mystery lot, and he is going to have that at he has that at $300. And then my boy Shannon again, lot number 12, $250. So there you go. Almost everything has a bid on it, except for lot number 8. So it's a golden opportunity to jump in there and get something if you want to, and a lot of good stuff. So, and then, you're getting all this stuff at a really good price. A lot of it painted and stuff like that. Excuse me for a second. Oh, there we go. And I think, that's going to help you get through a bit, okay? I think, like I said, this was going to be the last big auction. I'm going to do a very small auction, maybe 3 lots in a week or two, just to get some miscellaneous stuff out. Nothing earth-shattering. I decided to keep my Kingdom Death Monster. It's kind of hard to get rid of that game. It really is. But we're going to be taking a look at a lot of different things and games that you may have that you can soup up. We're going to really be talking about Warhammer Quest 95. We're going to be talking about Adventurers, D100. Just going back and revisiting, things, Dungeon Saga, Ogre, a ton of things that maybe you don't know about that out there and sitting on shelves someplace that you could really bring in and just have a lot of great experience. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. Again, to everybody that may have popped in, happy Easter to you. It is Easter morning. I do not want to make this a very long thing. And, I'm just looking around here, how much work I've got to do. Makes my head swim. It really does. As much as I love the new stuff, there's just stuff that just, Zaya. Zaya is a great, great game. I love that game because it's so sandboxy, and I love science fiction. And, how do you get rid of that? How do you get rid of silent death? We got some newer games in here. Burning Banners, I want to take a look at. It's still in shrink wrap. Rage of the Witch Queen. It's got a lot of potential. And then another game, that Stellar Horizons 2, which we're going to be looking at. A lot of videos coming out that I think you'll like. And I got a lot of video game stuff coming out too. We're going to be talking about Civ. What is it, 7 or 8? I always forget. I'm trying to forget it already. And we're going to talk about, we want to, we're pretty critical when it comes to board games. When they come out and they feel not finished. Okay. Well, the funny thing is we want to hang those people in town square. Okay. oh my God, I paid this for this, and this is what I got. Well, we kind of do the same thing with video games, but I think we're a little bit more lenient. And the reason being is when a game comes out and it's buggy and it's got this, that, and the other, we kind of go, yeah, well, it wasn't great when I first started it, but I'll come back to it in a month or two. And and the reason of that is because they can put out a patch for it, okay? And they can fix some of the things if they hear enough. Or it doesn't sell well, they can make adjustments. And people releasing things that are too early, okay? They're not ready, okay? Because they need to get the money in. So they're going to hype it up and say, yeah, we're coming out on May 25th. And the thing really doesn't seem like it was play tested or this, that, and the other. Well, that really kind of happened with a company that I'm kind of shocked at, Firaxis, which never used to really be that bad. And this last game on every single platform has been a train wreck. PC, it's a mess. Okay. Xbox, it's a mess. PlayStation, it's a mess. On VR, you thought, well, this, they're going to have to make this differently on VR. And it's a mess. But people are kind of like, well, it's Civilization, a couple patches, hopefully they'll have it together. What? What? I don't know. Strange world we live in. Strange world. Oh, God. That's my last one, too. You know how painful that is? You know how painful that is my last birch beer from Fox and Park? I wish they would send me down. I can get 2 cases of Fox and Park. Look, you even have to pay for a glass bottle. My favorite soda. It's that dirty Connecticut water. I'm listening to what's going on in there. The kids already got their Easter presents. So they're kind of in their glory. Well, last night was WrestleMania. That was pretty good. It's almost like there were a lot of softballs thrown last night. I don't like the fact that it's 2 nights now. I just wish it was all just one night. Okay. That was, when I went to the very first WrestleMania. Okay, 41 years ago. I went to the very first one in Madison Square Garden, and it was a spectacle. I went to 1, 6. I went to 1, number 6, number 8, 18, 20 something. I forgot which one's that. I'm looking at a program that I have over there. I went to all the ones in Orlando, which were good. That were a lot of fun. And I was going to go to the one in Tampa, but COVID came. And we weren't going. And we had to get our money refunded. Oh, we had good seats too. Son of a bitch. And they shut everything down. We were looking forward to it too. But they were all one night. And then because of the COVID thing, they split it up into 2 nights. And it was kind of, okay. And now, you have the first night and you go, wow. And, you get a lot of matches that aren't really WrestleMania type of matches. Or, you don't have the big surprises. And you go, okay. Of course, the finish last night was a big surprise for those of you that didn't see it. Maybe watching the replay. I don't want to ruin it. But tonight, I got a feeling is when they kind of really because Sunday night is, it's always WrestleMania. Yeah, and I got a feeling everything's going to go kind of kooky, and it's interesting. It's been fun. Hockey playoffs, of course. There's WrestleMania tonight, and my beloved Maple Leafs open up their playoff hunt. Oh God, against the team that we do not match up well with. I don't think. And that's the Ottawa Senators. We won the Atlantic. Okay. And we got, we're number 2. We're playing number 7. And Ottawa, they got a Chuck on their team, which means look out. So I'm hoping we can get out of the first round. Then we're playing with house money, as far as I'm concerned. And we'll see what happens. But I'm going to be sitting on pins and needles tonight. WrestleMania on the big screen TV, hockey on the iPad, and it's going to be a very busy Easter evening. And then we got dinner at 4:00. Let's get it done with. I want everybody out by 6:45. I'm throwing them all out, Easter or not, don't care. Let's face it, it's playoff time. Okay, so let's just go over this one more time. What are we at? 36 minutes. Not bad. I want to keep this short. Again, it's a holiday. I don't expect a lot of people to be here. I hope you're all. You all, whether you celebrate Easter or not, you just have a great day. Oh, Monster 150, how are you? Happy Easter to you, my friend. Just have a great day. That's all we can ever ask. So NovaPrime860@hotmail.com. Send your bids. Okay. The auction ends 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Okay. Lot number 1, Undaunted series and Combat Commander series, $150 for Matt. Good steal. Shannon has the WizKid Terrain at $250. Okay, and there's a lot more in there than $250. I think just 2 of the boxes were close to $250. Believe it or not. But I've got to say I got probably about $900 in that box, easy. Lot number 3, Command and Colors, Napoleonic, pretty much everything for that, and Medieval Command and Colors. Tim has it at $140. Good steal for you, Tim. Congrats. Lot number 4, Descent 1 and 2. Volumes 1 and 2. Shannon has that at $200. Thank you, Shannon. Lot number 5, Aeronautica, Imperialis, or whatever the heck they call it, and part of it's painted. All the books, the pilot packs, maps, all kinds of things, and dystopian battle groups. I put in there as well. Ryan has that at $250. Thank you, Ryan. Lot number 6. Now this one I'm happy because we put this up and people bailed on us every single time, which drove me insane. But John Clee, he's my boy. He always takes good care of us. But Madar is at $200, which is still a steal with the expansions, and it's painted. I painted it myself. So you're walking out here pretty good. Lot number 7, the airbrush lot with the paints and the compressor and everything. Unnamed, $350. Lot number 8 has no bid still. That's the Legends of Andor, all and the expansions. Wildlands, painted. Additional maps. And as well as, what else did I throw in there? an expansion, a Judge Dredd. That's painted, and I believe there's an expansion with that. No bids at all. Lot number 9, Massive Darkness, the original one, and some maps. That game is painted, fully painted. Metal Gear, along with it is Metal Gear Solid, the brand new Metal Gear Solid. It's not even out of the case. Casey has that at $180. Thank you, brother. That's a steal, because the Massive Darkness painted would cost you $300, $400. Lot number 10 is a mystery lot. My boy Phoenix has that at $280. Lot number 11 is a Name Your Own mystery box. That's at $300. And lot number 12, Shannon has the last mystery box at $250 schmackaroos. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Easter Bunny. Bach. Happy Easter, Rob, family, and everyone. Bach. That's what I get it now. I get it. Okay. Happy Easter, everybody. I hope you guys enjoy the day, enjoy your families. And even if you don't celebrate it, just enjoy your family regardless. It's Sunday. Hopefully you don't have to work, and you can just sit back and relax a little bit. It is the weekend, WrestleMania weekend, and I got a lot of stuff to do, so I'm going to get doing it and make sure that I get everything done so I can chill out today. Okay? I don't want to be bothered. I really don't. So the auction ends at 10 o'clock tomorrow, so last update. And listen, guys, have a great day. I love you all, and until next time, which on Tuesday on our morning walks. Okay, be ready for that one. I try to do it Tuesday and Thursday. I'm trying to come live a little bit more. I'm trying to do a lot more with the channel. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you become a part of it if you like to. It's up to you. It's up to you. And hit that like button if you can. That always helps us get a little bit more visibility, which never hurts. And as always, my dear friends, have a great day. And until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We shall see you soon. Happy Easter, everybody. This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.